In Williamson County, housing demand continues to rise. Although earlier in the year, it was actually the story was it was a little bit slower market. So we definitely have seen that demand rise in Williamson County. Hey, I'm John Turner. I'm the team lead of the Turner Victory Team. We bring you the Williamson County Real Estate Report every week. And this week we have a special guest. I am joined by my wife. She's also an outstanding realtor.
Hi.
She's the co-lead
Thank
of the team, Tracy Turner. And Tracy, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate
It's good
you
to be
being
here.
here. So, we always bring you the 3 things you need to know about the Williamson County real estate market.
Yes.
But this being
First.
4th of July weekend, happy 4th of July
Happy 4th.
weekend, everybody. Hope you had a great one. Happy birthday, America.
Yes.
250 years of democracy, and we appreciate y'all tuning in this week.
Yes.
But with it being a new month, it means that we have to do a recap of the last month.
That's right. So we've got your stats for June of this year. So new listings, we had 702, and that's down actually a little bit from last June where we had 763. So that's down about 8%.
And we'll look at the chart here in a minute, but that's
Yes.
been the story all year.
It has been. It has been. So pendings for June, 439 compared to 380 last June. So that's actually up 16%.
Wow. Okay. And
So
that's a number
that's,
I was hitting on a minute ago. But
It
yes.
is, yeah. So our closings for June, 486 compared to 458 last year. So that's up a little bit, roughly 6%.
Okay.
So.
6%. Okay.
And then our average
Good.
sales price, this June, we were just over 1.4 million. Last June, we were just over 1.3 million. So that is actually up about 7%.
Wow. Up 7%.
great.
Average sales price does not mean prices were up 7%.
Exactly.
But the average sales
Average
price
sales
was
price
up 7%. Yes.
And our month supply of inventory were pretty much the same, 3.73 compared to 3.77 last June. So
pretty close to what we were. Now,
pretty close.
the way that we pull it, and we'll look at that chart here in a second, ours is up a little bit more than that,
Right,
but still good numbers to look at on both of those.
absolutely.
All right, well, let's
Okay.
talk about the 3 things we
three
need to know about the
things.
Williamson County real estate market this
All
week.
right.
I led off with this one, but the demand, it still remains elevated. Tracy just hit on it. In June, we were up 16% for pendings.
Right.
Our contracts were up. And we're going to hit on the speed of the market here in a minute, but
Okay.
some things are happening within the first week of being on the market as well.
Yes.
So demand is up is the number one thing you need to know about the Williamson County real estate market. The second thing you need to know about it is
That builders are targeting the $1 million to $2 million price range. So right now, just over 44% of all the new listings this week are new construction.
wow.
So that's a pretty big number. So sellers in that range are increasingly competing with builders.
Yeah. And we're going to look at some charts on that as well because there's some interesting data going on there. All right. So the third thing we need to know about the Williamson County real estate market is the top of the market. So 3 million, price point 3 million and above. It's really starting to get a little soft right there. It's been a little soft, and some of it is just the price point, but still, there's about 11 months supply of inventory
Right.
above 3 million. So if you are in that price point, there is competition. There's actually 230 active homes on the market
Wow.
right now in that price point. Yeah, so you definitely
A
have some
lot to choose
competition
from.
there. Yeah. So, all right, should we get into some charts?
All right, let's look at the charts.
All right,
Your favorite thing.
My favorite thing, I like it pretty well.
Charts
here,
are great.
So in Williamson County, the Turner Victory Team market health score is at 50. So it's right in the middle. It's not favoring buyers. It's not favoring sellers. And we do pull in, this isn't just month supply. We do pull in
Right.
local data, regional data, and national data to come up with that market health score.
Yes.
We have 4.07 months supply of inventory. And as I said, that's slightly different than what the MLS is showing. It's just the way we
Right.
calculate it slightly differently. We do ours the same way every week, so our charts will reflect that. And we can see the trends because the trends are probably more important than the actual number itself.
Right.
The 30-year rate, mortgage
30
rate,
rate, 6.43.
which was down about 6/100ths
bit.
this week. So, it's hard to tell. I've said this many times. I don't know if anybody knows what's going on in the Middle East, but it's the gas prices, the oil prices really that's been affecting some things and the uncertainty there. It is down about 0.25% from where we were this time last year.
That's right.
And what we're seeing actually is that a lot of buyers have adjusted to this, and
they have.
They're
really
tired
have.
of putting things on hold, especially if you are a seller that's realistic about the market.
Right.
If you're a buyer expecting to go back to the COVID years where you're getting a 3% mortgage rate,
Not going to happen.
you're wasting your time. But also, if you're a seller thinking you're just going to put your home out there at any price in any condition, and just think people are going to be fighting over it, we're not in those years either. No. So we're seeing more and more sellers and more buyers become realistic about the market.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why we bring you this data is we enjoy educating and just showing what the market's doing. Because if you are looking to be in the market, you need to know what's going on. So let's look at what's going on as we talk about. Just remember the blue here is that percent of new construction. So like under 500,000, 22% of all the active listings are new construction. I'd like to change this just so you can see it in its entirety here. I think, So below 500,000, especially below 300,000, we have quite a bit of supply there. It's really unusual because in most markets, whenever you're in the lower price point, it's the faster moving ones. You have to get to the 500,000s to see it moving a little bit quicker. And really the 600,000s are moving faster than the 500,000s. That's
impressive.
Yeah. But anything in green is what we consider a buyer's market. Anything in yellow or orange, whatever color you want to call it, is more of a balanced market. And anything in the red is that's a buyer's market. So that's that right. Seller's market up here.
Seller's market in the green.
Yeah.
Seller's market in the green.
Yeah. So let me scroll back up here to the top. This is the charts we talked about. Let's get on where we can see them a little bit better. First of all, your active inventory. We saw a big drop this week. And it's traditionally we see a drop on the holiday week.
Could be, yes.
Yes. But that's a little bit bigger than what we would expect.
Quite a big drop.
Yeah, we went from 1,735 available homes down to 1641. So almost 100 unit drop right there. That impacts our month supply. As we talked about, our month supply is getting real close to where we were this time last year. We've seen this little white area here, the separation.
Right, that gap is
over the past several
narrowing,
weeks.
for sure.
And this kind of coincides with what we saw with the pending home, or we will see with the pending home sales. Because if we go back, was at 2, 4, 6, 7 weeks, when that starts narrowing, I think that's about the time we saw the pending home sales tick up too. But we'll look at that here in a minute. Okay. New listings all year long. The orange line has been that's 2026. Orange line has been below the past 2 years, way below. If we did not have this new construction that you were talking about, no telling where this would be right now. It's amazing how little inventory we have coming on the market right now.
It really is.
But going back to the weekly pendings, I just hit on this where we could see this kind of spiked up here, and we really started outpacing last year. And that's when we started seeing our month supply start shrinking, because a little bit, even though we had more inventory on the market, the velocity of the market was moving. It's interesting here, though, that we did kind of match last year.
We did.
So when we start to mimic that and see 2 or 3, 4 weeks more of a decent summer market, and then we'll drop off, we'll level. I mean, it's hard to tell, but we have been trending ahead for the past few weeks. But we will be watching that closely in the upcoming days.
Absolutely.
We just hit on the speed of the market.
This is so interesting.
Yeah. So we had someone. Chart. Yeah, we had someone tell us that nothing sells in the first week, and it takes a while to sell. Right.
That's right. That's a myth.
Yeah. Well, and we were able to pull this chart out and say, well, you know what? And what you got to understand is the blue is anything that's sold. All right. This whole chart is anything that went under contract. All right. And the blue is anything that went under contract in the first 7 days. The gray is 8 to 89, and the red is 89 or 90 and above.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you look at this across the board in Williamson County right now, 40% of all homes that go under contract. Now, not all homes go under contract, but 40% of all homes that go under contract in the first week.
Days.
Yeah. If you look at some of these price points, if you're a buyer looking in the 500,000 to 600,000. There's a 1 in 2 chance that the house you're looking at when it first comes on the market that it will be under contract in that first week. You kind of see the same thing in here in the 600s and 700s, but a lot of these are elevated. I mean, this is the 900 to a million.
Right.
We even see it over here in the 5 to 6 million price range. So a lot of things are still moving pretty quickly.
Yes.
Now, one thing I will caution you is if we go down here and look at our showing, this is the average showings per week per listing. And it's been several weeks ago.
Steady decline.
Yeah, exactly.
decline.
We capped out just under 3 showings per
Right.
listing per week back in the spring, and very steady decline, as Tracy said. And right now
Yeah,
we're
we're just under 2.
yeah, just under 2. So that's a leading indicator. So when we start talking about what's going to happen in the next few weeks, it does look like inventories or showings are declining a little bit. But the question is, does that mean that there's less buyers out there? There's less buyers looking per listing,
Right.
but through COVID, I think our industry got better about presenting a home online.
Yes.
So a buyer can
Absolutely.
sit there and determine, a lot of times sitting at their computer on their phone, whether that's even a house they want to go look at or not. So
Right.
I think they're being more selective before
I
they
think
even
so
go look
too.
at a house.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so too.
Yeah. So it's probably a combination of each, and it's probably a combination of buyers not as many buyers, because
Right.
traditionally we're getting into a little bit more of a seasonal type market now, since
we are.
we're a few years past that crazy market.
Yes.
So a little bit more seasonal. So there's probably a few less buyers out there, but also they're probably being pickier about what they're looking at. That's the reason why
Right.
it's so important to present your house online correctly.
Yes.
If you're not doing that, you're probably missing out on some showing
Very possibly.
opportunities. Yeah.
Very possibly.
So, well, that's the data we got for this week, right?
Okay.
That's Williamson County Real
That's
Estate
great.
Report. I appreciate y'all tuning in this week. We love bringing
you.
this to you every week, and I appreciate you joining me this week, Tracy.
Thanks.
Hopefully you'll do it again.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Let's see if I can talk you into it again, right? She likes being behind the scenes, but she does
Yes.
a great job on the camera as well. So appreciate y'all joining in this week. If
Thank
you have
you.
any specific questions, you can put them on whatever social media you're looking at, or feel free to go to our website, ask those. You can subscribe to our weekly email that sends these charts out. They also can be found on our website at turnervictory.com. So thank you for tuning in. Until
right.
next week, hope you make it a great week. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.